Five Podcast. We are back. It's our first time, man, going visual.
Yes,
Top 5
sir.
Podcast. Yes, sir. This your boy, Coach Chris.
It's your boy, Coach Miles.
And we got the infamous Coach Sub in the building, man. Welcome back, man. Coach Suber out here. Well, as you all know, Bethune-Cookman alum. And hey, man, look, it's been a while. We haven't been on the podcast to talk about football, about sports, about anything. I know part of that is technical difficulties, but we was trying to go visual. We are here now. So it's blessed to see you all. For y'all put faces to the guys that's been talking behind the mics for the last couple of months or year. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this new venture that we're venturing out onto, man. Let's get right into it, man. NFL free agency has started. We're not even gonna discuss the Super Bowl. We're gonna leave that in the past, man. I don't even want to talk about it as a diehard Niner fan. We're gonna dead that. We're gonna leave that shit alone. Moving on. Hey, look. NFL free agency has kicked off with high gear, man. There's a lot of moving parts that started. Russell Wilson signed with the Steelers this morning. Just got a message that Kobe Packerson just signed with the Seahawks for 3 years.
Josh Jacobs to the Packers.
Josh Jacobs signed with the Packers.
That's big.
It's a lot of moving parts going on, man, and it's all coming down into the draft, man. The offseason is always a fun and interesting part of the NFL, man. This is where all the storylines are created and the magic happens before the season starts. So, first things first, man. What are some of your thoughts, man, on some of the things that's been happening? Coach Miles, out of all free agency, everything that's been happening, man, tell me one thing that stuck out to you so far that's happened the last couple of weeks.
Man, we gave Baker 115.
Gave Baker. Baker got his $100 million deal, man. Y'all thought he wasn't gonna make it.
Baker should have got about 3 years, 85 mil, and he could make up to 100.
So you think they overpaid him?
I think we overpaid him, man. Jason Light, he's infamous with doing great things and figuring things out. But I'm pretty sure that they seen things that us public eyes aren't seeing, and but based off what I see on his play on Sundays, and granted he's got all these different coordinators and this and that, but I think we overpaid him, man. Like I think we overpaid him. I think the biggest steal was the Steelers getting Russ for 1.2 mil. Up to I think 5 mil or something. Like, I mean, you got a all pro. You got a vet, man, that's been there. Like, they got a young team, and if Russ does what I hope he does, then I think he makes the Steelers a legit contender. But now that your boy Josh Jacobs just went to the Packers, and the things that they do around there, and the growth that I've seen from Jordan Love, like I that might be my dark horse sleeper, man. Like, could it be Texans Packers Super Bowl?
You trying to throw Sub over there a bone, man? I hear you. So, how you feel about the offseason, man? The things that's been happening. What's standing out to you so far that's happening with the start of free agency happening today?
Man, I'm gonna have to veg you back off of Miles, man. That Josh Jacobs pickup today was really the biggest pickup that I think nobody saw. Everybody can say what they want, but nobody saw that coming. Because they have Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
that's been playing well for him. Really for the last couple years, a little nicked up with injuries here and there, but he's been a consistent back for him. Playing that cold. So I think Jacobs brings a home run essence to that position that they've been lacking, maybe the 60, 70-yard run and the durability. And now the one thing he's going to have that he hasn't had is an offensive line in front of him to really help open some holes and get them to the second level to make things happen. So I'm really intrigued by that. I'm a Texans guy, so I'm watching very closely to see what we're gonna do to fill the void we lost with Gennard. Just going to
the Bears?
Yeah, no, Vikings.
Jets.
Vikings.
He was a pivotal piece in the puzzle last year.
12.5 sacks
on defense. So, we'll see. I've been looking for them to make some moves. So I guess we're gonna wait a day or so before we make them. But, Texans got to get busy. They got not a lot, but we have a few holes to fill. We just created another one losing Gennard. So we'll see, man. But that's my synopsis on it so far. We young in this free agency period so far.
Yeah, I can agree to that, man. Everything you guys said, man. Josh Jacobs was the biggest surprise to me with the Packers. Him signing with them, like, they were already dangerous. Like you said, Aaron Jones ran through the playoffs, man, and literally almost took him past the 49ers to play the Detroit, which I thought that was going to happen, honestly, for all intents and purposes, man. So I think they're doing amazing things over there in Green Bay. You still got Jordan Love; he's young, showcased somewhat of a surprising end of his season to where he performed somewhat of a MVP like type level at them last 8 games of the year. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happened with the Packers in the NFC. I want to see what's going to happen over there with Joe Burrow and what's happening with T. Higgins. That's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I feel he's a legit number 1 receiver, so I want to see where he ends up landing. He requested a trade today. You don't think T. Higgins is a legit number 1?
Nah, he ain't no number 1.
Nah, man.
Man, I think
he a 2. He a strong.
He a number 2. I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. That's definitely a topic that's gonna have to come up, man, when he signs his deal, because he just requested a trade today, so he will be signing with somebody. He will be signing with somebody, and they probably gonna give him a long-term deal. So depending on who he signs with, we'll have a big part of that. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that, man. Surprising for the 49ers, man. Like we probably released Armstead today. He's being
That's the humanitarian of the year, man.
Yeah, I know. It was a big loss. He's a big mentor for our program. But asked to do a pay cut, decided he was against it. It was a significant pay cut, which we definitely understand. He's gonna go ahead.
You want to know why?
I know why.
Hey, Booby, come down in the camera. All you can see is your chin.
Yeah, Miles, that's you.
Oh, it's so full screen on mine. That's funny.
Yeah,
but I think the other Bosa is coming, and he's gonna come on a light deal.
Yeah, I think that's gonna happen too. Fred Warner just took a significant pay cut. He took or not a pay cut, but reworked this deal so that we can get some more money out there. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We still got Purdy on a rookie deal, so it's not gonna be one of those things where we're gonna be. We probably got one more year, man, under this window to win a bowl.
I'm about to throw this out here. I'm finna throw this out here, man. This is gonna. We thought Josh Jacobs was a surprise, but don't be surprised, man, if Miami or Tampa end up with Khalil Mack, and just know you heard it here first. Just know you heard it here first.
Khalil Mack. Definitely still a dominant edge.
Just know you heard it here first. It's either way he goes, Miami or Tampa. He's 2 hours away from the crib. He back home. He in some good weather.
How much good football he got left in him now?
That's what I want to know.
But now you getting an all pro guy that could potentially give you 10 sacks.
When's the last time he was all pro?
When's the last he had 10 sacks?
Shit, I don't know. I gotta look.
You living in the past, dog.
Yeah, I am, but I mean, I still he still. To me personally, I think we can get the most, us or Miami, because both I still feel like both of us are Super Bowl contenders. So if he can get into somewhere,
Can we pause on that for a second? Like, that's a topic I feel like should definitely be discussed. All right, so give me right now, Miles.
I just say contenders.
Okay,
That's
I'm gonna give you, because there can only be a certain many contenders. Give me 5 contenders next year.
Shit, you got 8. What you mean? You got 8 in the playoffs.
That's understandable. Give me your 5 contenders. I mean, there's, in the playoffs, there's 10,
I mean,
teams
San
that sneak into the
Francisco, Dallas, Philly, Tampa, and then you got a wild card like. Well, I got to put Green Bay in there.
Green Bay.
So that's my 5. That's my 5. I think
you got Tampa Bay and not the Texans in. Boy, you out your damn mind.
we talking NFC.
No, we talking period.
Oh, period.
Yes, 5 contenders.
Well, then I wouldn't say Tampa will be in my top 5. Tampa's not in my top 5. I'm just saying we're a playoff team that could potentially get to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so if you that's your NFC, I like to. Give me your 5 AFC, Miles.
Houston. Then there's no in particular order. Houston. I gotta go with the Jets, man, because they're getting the A-Rod back, and I'm pretty sure that the defense was already slick biting. They didn't have no kind of help offensively this year. So I think they're going to lose and add, but they're going to get Aaron Rodgers back, which whether he's 50 or he's 40, he's still a better version of what they had with Zach Wilson and the other guys that they had. So we don't know how that play calling went. Could have been goddamn vanilla as hell. Like, who knows? We don't know. But we just seen what we seen.
So you got
Houston,
Jets.
I got Houston. I'm going with New York. I'm going with the Jets just because they got A-Rod back.
Got you.
Who else is out there? Don't say nothing. Houston, Kansas City, Baltimore, and shit, I know I'm missing somebody. Cleveland. Shit, I'm going back with Cleveland. I mean,
just got Jared Judy to pair
they
with
got Jared
Cooper,
Judy. You know,
Deshaun,
my wild card to be Pittsburgh.
I'm not so excited. I'm not so excited about that Jared Judy pickup, man, as everybody else.
I think it's a rebirth.
He's shown for the last 3-4 years who he is.
He did. Could have been the environment.
There was no damn environment. Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? He didn't do it. That's the bottom line.
So you comparing him to old boy from the Chiefs?
Who's that?
They got the wrong. They got the ring. Yeah, Tony.
No, I'm not comparing them to. I'm just, you know what I mean? I just watched them not deliver, man, over and over again.
Yeah, I can get. Well, so since we talking,
well, hold on, man. Because since we talking about delivering, I don't have a problem, man. But I'm also like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Excuse my language, but what's going on? Because your boy up in Buffalo, man, he ain't delivered neither. And my problem comes from the fact that I've grown accustomed to loving the way he plays the game and the things that he does. Like I watch his workout, resumes and things like that, man. I'm like, that's when I became a fan of his because I'm watching the things that he's. Are we talking about
Stephon Diggs?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we talking about.
Yes,
you want to say his name? I don't want to know who we talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I hear, man, because it's like I get that we're on Josh Allen and all this stuff, man, and some of the bonehead things that he do, but I mean, whether you like it or not, man, Josh Allen is one of the better. He's in the top tier of worth of quarterbacks that can potentially deliver you a Super Bowl ring. I think that when he's been needed the last 2-3 playoffs, man, he goes missing for some reason. Like I don't know why. I don't know if it's play calling. Like I don't know what it is, and I could be wrong.
Nah, they've been targeting him.
Yeah,
But he like I don't want to see no damn wide receiver screen and let him catch it for 6. Like I'm not concerned about his catches, man. I'm concerned more about the production. Like why aren't you getting open?
Yeah.
And I made it a thing of mine this off season to watch the Buffalo Bills cut ups, and I need to understand why this guy is not showing up, because if you got 2-3 DBs or linebackers mixed with DBs and they're bracketing this guy, then what's happening with everybody. Like something's got to happen, man, because you can't. I just feel like if you put him in the slot, you put him in motion, and you do all these things, like it's hard to bracket the guy.
Well, check this out. I think this year would be the worst year for you to try to assess that. One, you had Gabe, who was hurt for a large portion of the year, so they were able to cloud him. They were able to double cover him and do some different things, bracket him, to eliminate him as a number one option. Then you had the debacle that took place with the offensive coordinator situation, where they fired mid-year. Definitely, you could see in what they did after the coordinator that it was a total different thought process and what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? A total different scheme. And then the biggest thing, why I'm not a fan at all of Diggs. I'm not. I almost threw up when people were talking about the Texans were going to try to work a trade. That ain't the culture that we got over there. That ain't gonna work.
Tell me why. I think I'm on the same with you on that.
Yeah, the biggest thing, Josh Allen isn't who everyone thinks. He's a turnover machine. You know what I'm saying? That guy turns the ball over at a high clip. You know what I'm saying? And they just so happened that defense was getting him the ball back, and had given him more opportunities to score. But man, he is a turnover machine, and not enough people talk about that. Yes, does he give you a chance? Are the high plays extremely, big? Yes, but the lows are low too. You know what I'm saying? Watch his turnovers in a game. I mean, you just throughout when the playoff run, the brief playoff, he's turning it over left and right. So I think it's hard to really gauge the value of Stephon Diggs after this year because of all those elements right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree, especially with Stephon Diggs. Now, this is my thing. I watched him at Minnesota because I was a big fan of him when he was at Maryland. I was a big fan of him. And when he was an underrated receiver coming out, he tore up.
No, he wasn't.
He was a little underrated. He wasn't.
He had shit on his name because of that bullshit he be pulling. And they were saying he wasn't a team guy.
Okay, all right. That you might have more knowledge on that than I do.
But they never questioned his talent, ever.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I thought he was one of those top 5 receivers. And I obviously wasn't talking about him as such because of the reasons you just mentioned. But when he came to Minnesota, man, he kind of just spread out. I was like, yeah, man, I like him, man. But that first issue he had with his quarterback, and I think, was that Kirk Cousins? Was Kirk the issue? Because Kirk he first started with
It was
Kirk.
either Kirk or Case Keenum. It was one of them. And the way he responded to that issue, I took offense to it. I ain't like it. So when he got traded to Buffalo and he started resurrecting, I'm like, okay, maybe he was the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was the relationship. And now he's starting to do the same thing, man, with a different QB. And I'm starting to question, is it you? You know what I'm saying? Is it who you are more so than, are you more of a diva than
then I'm saying you out. Like I'm starting to wonder if it's really him, man, his personality, and that's what's causing this rough between most of these QBs that he's dealing with.
Hey, check this out. Ironically, you just brought up Kirk Cousins. He just signed a 4-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons.
Off the board.
I knew that.
The
I knew
quarterbacks
that
are
was
falling.
happening.
So now,
you know his
and
wife
I'm
from
glad you just
Atlanta
went
too.
to that transition. So
And
perfect.
Raheem want a veteran guy.
Raheem wants a veteran, but you just lost all the veterans. Baker's gone. Kurt's gone. Russell's gone.
He got Kirk Cousins.
He got Kurt. My bad. Minnesota now is left in heat. You got Minnesota and the Bears left in heat with reference to a quarterback. Now Bears has obviously got options. They can go ahead and get Caleb, but Minnesota needs a quarterback.
What is
the Bears trade Justin Fields in the division to Minnesota?
Absolutely not.
I don't think they trade him
at all. What
do you
do?
And listen, if I'm sitting in Minnesota right now, and I'm Justin Jefferson, I'm calling like, hey, y'all fumbling the bag. Hey, they fumbling the bag, dude. What can we do to demand a trade? I'm trying to get out of there.
He is in position to do so. He's in position to do so.
Think if you Justin Jefferson, Justin Fields ain't the answer for you to continue to be the most dominant receiver in football.
So that brings it to a good question. Me and Miles was having this conversation a little earlier. Reference to Justin Fields, because there's been talks about him being in the tiers of the Sam Darnolds of the world and things of that nature. And then you got other who has high upside thinking that Justin Fields might be a program changer if you put him in the right system. So right now, Miles, I know you've been holding on to this for a little minute, dog. I'm going to let you get it off your chest, man. What do you see the best scenario for the Bears with Justin Fields in the position with all the quarterbacks you see that are off the board right now and how it's working out?
Here's my thing. I'm either I'm keeping him, and I'm building him my O-line and another receiver, and I'm gonna continue to build up that defense to help him out. Two, or the second one is I'm gonna trade him, but I'm only gonna trade him within the top 5 or 6. That way I can get a top tier O lineman or D lineman, and then also gain capital to draft more guys later on in the round or even next year.
Do you believe Justin Fields is gonna get? You think somebody's gonna trade the top 5 draft pick for Justin Fields?
No, so that's what makes me believe that they will keep him. And they're gonna draft one. They're gonna trade back for a quarterback needy team, and then they're gonna draft one of those O linemen or one of those D linemen. And I think they go O line, and then I think they gain more capital and they get more receivers in the draft to help him out,
so you
along
see them
with another running back.
You see them holding on to Justin, trading them one pick to give him some resources and some firepower.
Yes.
That's interesting. So what you see, man? How you see the Bears handling it?
Woo! Well, honestly, I see the Bears trading out of this pick.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this. I apologize. Let me take that back. It looks crazy now, and I don't see how, but I saw the Bears trading Justin Fields. That's what I saw. I saw the Bears trading Justin Fields. It doesn't look possible right now. I don't see them trading him within the conference, but it could happen. Yeah, that's not an impossible thing. And then here's a little monkey wrench in the deal. I've had a chance to watch the cut-ups on Drake May. I had a chance to watch Caleb live 3 or 4 games this year on the tube. When you watch and you compare their body of work, There's some things that Drake May does that Caleb doesn't do. Not that he can't do.
I told you that, Chris.
Hold on. Look, he about to jump on me, but listen.
I'm interested.
Hear me out first. There's some things that Drake May shows on film that he can do that Caleb doesn't show on film. Now, it's because those scenarios don't present themselves, because I don't think there's much Caleb can't do with the ball in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start looking at the history of the position and drafting that position, Drake May checks all the boxes. Prototypical height, weight. He's above average when it comes to athletic ability. And then he literally makes every single throw on film. So I think there's a chance that there's some people in the building in Chicago that seem to like Drake May maybe a tad bit more than Caleb Williams, despite all the talks of him being Patrick Mahomes-like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now one thing they've done a real good job of is hoarding draft picks. So now you trade back from first pick to the second pick with the Redskins, who really want Caleb Williams. They've gone out of their way to get his coordinator from college. It's just, he'd be a hometown hero at a professional level, which is very rare to happen. He's got some weapons there in Washington to throw to.
Yep.
And I think it just works out better for everybody in that scenario. And then the Bears take Drake May at number 2. They gain some draft capital from Washington, moving up one notch, because I think they're willing to pay a pretty penny to move.
Oh yeah, there's a King's ransom still for that, for moving from 2 to 1. Yeah,
absolutely. So they get more picks, and you kind of move on from there. They've got so many picks and high level next 2 years from the way that they've moved around last draft. I think the Bears are in a good spot as long as they've been doing their due diligence on these players in the draft. And they're like in the top 10 for cap space.
Yeah, they got 2 picks in the top 10. They still got a nice pick too as well. We're not even talking about. But here's
cap space,
and they got caps, and they got the cap space. So I'm listening, man. I'm listening, and that makes a lot of sense. And
that makes a lot of sense.
If this was. Here's my issue with the only issue was you just said, and that is, if this regime in Chicago does not take Caleb Williams and go get Drake and go get May, that's Mitch Trubisky all over again.
Gotta be right.
You gotta be right. And then I'm looking at Ryan Poles and I'm saying, dog, are you willing to risk it? You know what I'm saying? You willing to risk it? And I don't think he is. I really think that he knows that, like, no matter what, even if I got Justin Fields and I gotta get rid of him, unload him for little to nothing, I almost have to take Caleb right now. I feel like he has to take Caleb. If he doesn't, I feel like he's almost putting himself on a 1-year lease. If Drake May does not start and perform better than Caleb Williams or get him to the playoffs even, it's over. It's over. You can't go 6-9. You 10-7. You can't go 10-7. You can go 10-7 and make the playoffs. You can't go 7-10. You got to have a winning record and you got to make the playoffs. And honestly, Justin Fields gave them a winning record this year. If I'm not mistaken, they were 8-9 if I'm not mistaken. Or
7-10.
All right, 7-10. You can't go 7-10 again, and you can't switch it and go 8-9 and think you're doing something. You have to get it right. So if I'm Ryan Poles,
ain't gonna get a rookie anytime.
They can't. You just gave Caleb Williams away. You just gave Caleb away. I don't care what happens. You just gave this guy away for this guy. You did it again, dog. They're not gonna let it happen, man. So I feel like if I'm Ryan Poles, man, the only way he can survive this and keep himself in power for another 2 or 3 years is draft Caleb. Because at least I know now that, man, look, I got a rookie quarterback. I got the quarterback everybody wants. Let me build around him. And that's what he can use as leverage. Otherwise, man, he's a lame duck. He's a lame duck. His hands is all on deck and on that quarterback. And if you make perfect sense. What you're saying makes perfect sense. That makes good sense as a GM. I think just because of the scenario where he is in the past of what happened, he's unable to do that. He just the pressure's on him too much.
All right. So let me ask you this: do you go ahead and draft a rookie quarterback, or do you keep the same quarterback with the same head coach? Because that head coach is on. He's on his last leg too.
Yeah, that's right? Okay.
That's where the majority of the problems come from.
Yeah, but right. That's okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, do you keep Justin and build around Justin and knowing that I know what he can do and he can potentially save my job? Or do I bank on a rookie and now I got to figure out, like, is this rookie? I'm banking on this rookie to save my job. Yeah, so do I bank on Caleb or Drake? Or
you know why I bank on a rookie? One, he has a rookie scale contract. I gotta pay Justin Fields. Period. Justin Fields gotta get paid next year. You gotta pay him. So whenever you get your
but why not let him play his contract out with the head coach?
Let me answer your question. I gotta pay him. Mm-hmm. Two, I've already seen this regime. We already seen this rodeo. You know what you're getting from these two. If they don't produce again, as an owner, I'm not going to tolerate watching it again. All three of y'all gone. Head coach, GM, and quarterback. We can get rid of all y'all. Start off fresh. But as a GM, and I'm looking at it as I want to buy myself some time by resetting our pay scale by getting a rookie quarterback on deal. And two, I got a rookie quarterback now. Now my excuse is and my leverage is, hey, man, give me some time. Give me some time to build around this kid. You feel what I'm saying? So as a GM, that's the smartest move I can play. Otherwise, everything else I'm doing, I'm gonna either be I'm playing poker with blind. I'm playing.
So let me ask you this. So you just said that let me get this rookie quarterback and buy myself some time to build around him. Well, guess what? He had the opportunity to draft fucking Justin Fields, and he had the opportunity to build around him. So what's gonna be so different than Justin Fields and building around Justin Fields and building around Caleb Williams?
I don't think
I'm gonna do it differently.
I don't think anybody would believe would compare. I mean, and I mean, I won't say rightfully so, but I don't think anybody's gonna compare Caleb Williams and Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields was the pick. What was Justin Fields picked at? Was he picked 10? He was picked. Maybe it was a pick second.
He was like pick second or something, man.
No, it was Mac Jones, Trey Lance.
Yeah, he dropped.
He dropped.
Oh, he dropped to like 7 or 8.
Yeah, he got picked.
He was in the top 10.
The Bears scooped him up. It was a scoop up. The top quarterback is already gone.
They moved up in the draft to take him because he dropped.
Yeah, so it wasn't as if anybody perceived Justin Fields to be the game changer or the changing, franchise changer that he is. Nobody perceived him to be that. So at the end of the day, yeah, I could reset my chance with Caleb Williams. This is supposed to be a guarantee, a home run. Give me 3 years with this guy. Don't give me 3 years with a project. You feel what I'm saying? So it's at the end of the day, Ryan Poles would be. And I ain't saying he'll be stupid because this would be a hell of a bet if he succeeds. If he keeps Justin and garners those picks, he gets the second pick, first round pick next year. So you have 2 round picks next year. Yeah, he'll be the GM. He playing Madden. He playing Madden if he does that, right? It would be the smartest move ever. The only thing is, if I get Drake May, man, or Jaden Daniels, and we don't win 10 games, I'm gone. I'm out of there. Head coach, we're all out of there. We're gone. Like I might keep the quarterback, but we're all gone because we could have did that with Justin Fields.
It's a very particular situation, man, and I think it depends really on how much pressure is on them in that building,
right?
Because I agree, if the pressure is on their ass to win, they sticking with Justin.
I mean.
If if the pressure is on, yeah. Because here's the deal, right? Fired the OC, got a first-year OC in. So they may be trying to play it from both ends. Hey, first-year OC, let's get a first-year quarterback. They'll give the rookie some time, which will give the head coach some time, to give the GM some time. You know what I'm saying? They could
want to buy myself some time.
Yeah, they playing it out of both sides of the neck because this is a real tough situation. People, a lot of options ain't always good for people.
Right.
And they got a lot of options, and we can talk about all we want right now, but right now it looks like Chicago Bears are thinking about keeping Justin Fields.
And that's going to be so wow because you're putting your hands on deck. And I love it. I love that bet, man. If you believe in Justin, because I really think Justin could be a good player. And if you put him in the right system, put him in the right situation. Saquon Barkley just signed a deal with the Eagles, by the way. 3 years, $37 million.
Come on, man, we gotta make some moves, man.
Houston might get something out the draft.
Nah, Houston's getting Derrick Henry, man. He's gonna stay within the division. He's gonna sign with
I'm not excited about that.
You might, but I feel like that's where he's gonna go. He's gonna stay within the division. It's gonna be in the turf. It's gonna be in the dome. He'll love it, man. I think he's more so banking on it, and I think they know that too. That's why I don't think they're.
Tony Pollard went to the Texans.
Exactly. He's Titans. He went to the Titans.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard went to the Titans.
Titans, I meant.
Hey,
my bad.
I like Pollard.
Yeah, well, it's a lot going on for further in the free agency, man. It's gonna be a lot more happening. Again, it's gonna be interesting who goes to Minnesota because they don't have a high pick, and they need a quarterback. Now there is word and rumblings, and this is kind of off deck, but there's word and rumblings that they are very intrigued about going to get Trey Lance in Minnesota. You know, the hometown kid over there in Dakota. So there's word that they're trying to go get him, and he might be their heir apparent. You know, to Kurt.
That doesn't keep Justin Jefferson though.
Justin Jefferson gonna want to get out of there, boy.
Yeah.
So who can afford him?
Houston,
man. Where does he go?
CJ Stroud need a guy.
He did. Hey, CJ did show out in the Pro Bowl, man, which made a lot of heads turn. There was a lot of guys talking about they wanted to play with him. Jamar Chase being one of them. You know what I mean? So CJ, man, like I didn't expect it. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He was one of those QBs that I thought wasn't gonna be it. I thought he was gonna be a bust. I thought he was gonna be a bust. Listen, I ain't gonna care.
Listen, I be saying told you so. I told everybody after he played Georgia in that bowl game. Because he answered all the questions that I was curious about with him playing in that pie-ass Big Ten. He answered all the questions against Georgia, being able to elude defenders, throw on the run.
Yeah.
Create.
Marvin Harrison don't get hurt in that game. They might be.
They win that game.
Yeah, they might be national champ.
Shit, they missed the field goal to win it.
That too. Shit, anybody even talk about that? But yeah, man. So it's exciting times going on, man. That's gonna be a lot to see what happens with Justin Fields. I'm sure that's gonna pan out within the next 48 hours. We're gonna find out
to the Bucks, man.
We're gonna find out what's going on with that, man. Shout out to the Bucks re-signing Mike Evans, also re-signing Baker Mayfield, making big moves over there. Keeping the same team together. I like it though. If you know one thing about it, man. I feel like, Baker is one of those guys, man. Like you love to hate him, but you kind of got this little thing from like I want to see him succeed every now and again, man. The Pro Bowl, Baker showed me a lot of who he is, and he's starting to really get comfortable with football and in the NFL, and that is a little scary. I ain't gonna cap. I can't see the Buccaneers being in the playoffs, at least in the playoffs contention for the next 3 or 4 years, man, because of Baker.
Going to the playoffs.
I can say that.
Chris, don't get it confused. That defense.
Oh, well.
Why they made those playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? Don't get twisted. Yeah.
You don't think Baker had playoff production stats?
Yes, but that defense was getting him the ball back, turning the ball over.
Man, that's what they supposed to do.
Holding up when they had to, yeah. And now, this is all I'm saying, Chris. Now that defense has been broken up,
yeah, they have. Y'all lost a lot.
You're gonna see. And now them DBs really got to cover. You gonna see.
Yeah,
we already know they can't cover. That's why they up to be traded right now.
Well, see, this is the issue with that as well, though.
With that being said, with that move Atlanta just made with Kirk Cousins, Atlanta Falcons go to the top of the NFC South right now.
Ooh. You think so?
Look at the weapons he has. Kurt ain't gonna blow that cash.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
As long as
he gonna make somebody a star.
As long as he's healthy.
He gonna make somebody a star. But here's my thing. Here's my thing about both moves, which is gonna be especially with the Bucs. Like, you know, y'all, you saying y'all lost a lot. When y'all sign those quarterbacks, man, especially when they make it around that $39 million a year, that's a big cap hit. You know what I mean? It's hard to retain a lot of your stars. So, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see how y'all play it with that as well, man. You know, with the draft and all the above over there at Tampa. Houston, y'all got a lot going on. I want to see who y'all sign. I mean, y'all got the money, and I haven't seen Houston really make any moves yet, man. I wonder what's going on over there. What the GM is conjuring up.
I'm trying not to hit the panic button, Chris, but I'm seeing all these good players come off the board.
They're coming off the board.
And Houston has everything you want to lure a free agent there.
Right.
Yeah,
right. But here's the sleeper,
I think it's culture based, man. I think
here's the sleeper, though.
They paying attention to the culture
on a certain
type of people. Yeah.
That's D'Amico. So let me tell you, here's an interesting pickup. Brandon Ayuk, if we can't get no deal done, man, it's gonna be reminiscent of DeForest Buckner back in the days. We're gonna have to trade him. And I really
that's what y'all finna get Eric Armstead for Greenlaw. That's gonna replace Greenlaw.
Who?
I take it.
Eric Armstead.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That would be a great sign. That'd be a great sign, actually. Damn, 4 years, $180 million.
Don't be surprised.
4 years, $180 million.
Old boy from
$100
San Diego
million guaranteed.
Coming off an injured year.
$100 million guaranteed.
Don't count both out coming to Houston.
Who?
Joey.
Oh yeah.
Don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. Like it's.
Joey. I think Joey.
He's not a me guy.
Joey's coming up San Fran, man. He's gonna come play with his brother.
That could be it too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like
So what y'all gonna get rid of? Y'all gonna get
Chase? Chase? Yeah, we're not re-signing Chase. We're not. When you watch that kid, man, and I see a lot of reason why Washington did not apply that 6-year tag on him.
4 years, 180.
He's hit or miss. He'll give you a sack, but he takes a lot of plays off, man. And for what he's gonna be looking for in the open market, I don't think we're willing to pay him that, man. He takes a lot of plays off. Like it's concerning how many plays Chase Young take off, man. I see why Washington let him go. I do. I understand what the whole contract, the whole process was now. Like it's concerning, dog. Like he ain't. So I feel like we'll trade. I mean, we'll let him go. There'll be a trade of some sort, whether it be BA or somebody, man. I really don't see we holding on to everybody. But we get our safety back in Tafonga. He was hurt with an ACL last year, so he comes back. We got the Jahmyr Gibbs, who was the rookie from Penn State. So we're not Jahmyr Gibbs. What's the kid name that made the pick in the playoff?
We don't know.
From Penn State. It's at the tip of my tongue. But anyways, so we got a lot of sealed parts in the secondary. I think we're gonna look for corner. And we probably got to replace Greenlaw for at least a portion of the year because he's coming off that Achilles in the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that goes as well. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But I do see D'Amico and them going ahead and poaching some of our players and bringing that culture from the Niners down to the Texans.
Is it fair to say it's not culture? It's his culture. He was the DC there.
Yeah, he was the DC for 1 year.
So but he was still in the building though.
The culture,
he was in the building though.
And we can say it's Robert Saleh's culture, if you want to say that. Robert Saleh's in New Jersey. He's taking Niner players.
That shit ain't working in New York, so you got to say it's.
Well, you got bad quarterback play, man. I really, the defense is biting in New York.
The defense is biting,
man. Defense biting in New York.
They biting over there, man.
It's the offense, and you can't really.
That defense kept them in games week in, week out.
That's the reason why also, and to shed some light on that Steve Wilks thing. There's been it's come out, and it was the reason why he didn't want to hire him in the first place, is because of the fundamental differences of what we like to keep in our structure, which was Robert Saleh's defense, followed behind with D'Amico, who followed it to a T, and then you get Wilks, who wanted to kind of coach outside of it a little bit. And it was just a fundamental personality difference. It wasn't.
So why y'all ain't just hired
Fred Warner?
The Fred Warner
also retweeted a tweet about how personalities differences between between Wilks and the defense, and how he wasn't getting the most out of the players, and just his personality. Period. So it was a lot to do with that, man. We don't know what goes on in that building, but I knew it wasn't just straight off of the Super Bowl. It wasn't that. There was some discomfort in the beginning of the year, and I kind of felt like, damn, man, we kind of bunkered on that hire, but it is what it is. I do want to say this on the podcast, man, while we have it. We 47 minutes, man, so we're getting in it in a minute, man. Congrats to all the African-American black coaches, man, that's been getting hired this offseason. In college and in NFL, also in high school. I've been seeing a lot more coaches getting hired. I'm not sure what the process is behind it, reference to what was changed this year from any other year, but I'm happy that I'm seeing it, you know what I mean? And you guys can speak to that as well.
Shit, in the NFL, it's a copycat league. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Yeah, it's a the NFL is a copycat league. So the owners saw that there was five black head coaches in the NFL, and all of them made the playoffs. Well, quite frankly, they think about it. I got to go get one of them, because that playoff where the money is.
Yeah.
So, but rightfully so, man. Guys getting their opportunities, and it's a blessing.
Yeah. How you feel, Miles? How you feel about what's been going on, man, and where you see it going in the future, man? Do you start to see it happening more so, more prevalent next year and the years to come, or you think this is just more so of a one-off?
Well, I think eventually it's. I mean, I think eventually it's just bound to happen. Whether it comes faster or later, or now or later, you just can't deny that you have so many minority assistants that are particularly dealing with the players on a daily basis, to the point where they feel like they know the kids. Or the players. I feel like I'm taking these extra things. I can relate to the players in a way that particularly maybe someone else can't. And no matter how hard that they try, I think you just can't relate in certain aspects. And I think that's where the league and the actual sport is going to. I also think that they get a lot of. I think the NFL gets a few things from basketball, and when you look at the NBA, there's a lot of minority head coaches in basketball, and so I just feel like, man, it was bound to happen. And it's gonna happen. It's taking time, and now that the previous uh, coaches that are coaching now that are minorities, they're making the playoffs, and like Alan said, it's a copycat league. So I want to go get these kind of these minorities, and I want to make the playoffs too. And as long as they continue to have success, I think you'll see more. Um, and that's where I'm at. I mean, that's the way the sport is turning to, and you kind of gotta just evolve with it, and you got to give certain people chances, and I think you're slowly seeing it, and it's a good thing. So shout out to them, keep having success, and they're paving ways for guys like us three on this phone. So let them keep rocking out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to all the coaching hires again for minorities out there this year, man. This is a big bump, and it was good to see a lot of guys getting jobs. But man, hey, look, this has been a great episode, man. It's gonna be a lot more to talk about this week, man. With free agency just opening up today. We're gonna go into the draft on our next episode. I know the combine just passed up. But they're starting the draft order is going to start. You're going to start getting a clear picture after the free agency,
Pro days and all these
and
things.
free agency, and after guys get signed, you're going to know what teams are looking for what and who needs who. And so it's going to be a better experience. So man, we can't wait to see you guys again, man. Again, shout out to everybody who tuned in for the first episode on Drop 5 Podcast visually, man. And shout out to Sue. Appreciate you for joining us again, man. Miles, man, let's get it again. Hey, this is your boy, Coach Chris.
It's your boy, Coach Miles.
It's Drop 5 Podcast. We are out.